Hi, good evening. Sunday here with another live stream to share some of the challenges that we go through as immigrants. My name is Sunday. If you have just got me for the very first time, I am a mother of four. I am originally from South Sudan, currently living here in Townsville, Australia. And I'm so grateful that I am in these amazing countries, Australia. I came here in 2025. I'm almost 1 year and 10 months in this country, and I was so excited when we got the news that we are moving to Australia. I and my family were really so excited, and we were just not knowing what exactly it's going to be like, how will be like. I have been in other European countries by myself, going just for work for like few weeks, a month, and then I was back. I did not go with my family. I did not go there to just stay, but going with a family and living there, new culture, new house, new everything. We left everything that we had. We left it where we were, and yet we just came with our suitcases. It was like adventure. What is going to be like? We never knew what is going to be like. Yes, it was a mixture of excitement and fear and worry, because we're just coming. We don't know what is going to be the next chapter of our life. We never knew. Thank God we came here. We were welcomed right straight away when we arrived from the airport. There was already um, everything was organized for our arrival. Everything was really to the best. Yes, but the fear of the unknown was still there in my heart, most especially me as a mom of four. We are a family of six, and that fear has always been there in my heart. What am I going to experience newly that I don't know? How am I going to survive? How am I going to, all those things were just there. As I was excited to see the environment is peaceful, everything, I was excited, but that fear never left me. The first shock that came in my mind was that the rent here is, because when we came here we were welcome for 28 days. We were not paying anything, and then after the 28 days we were told that after the 28 days we will start paying rent. And the shock was that the rent is paid per week. Oh my god, that was the biggest shock, fear of my life, that I was asking myself a lot of questions from that day when I had that I couldn't sleep. I was, where am I going to get this money per week? And it was not just like 200, 300. It's like 600 something, 600 something per week that time. And I was like, oh my god, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? I was afraid, where am I going to take my children? That was the greatest fear that came in, but thank god there was a support. We were supported, and within 3 months I got a job. So when I got a job, so I was also paid weekly. So now I understood, okay, that's why they are paying the rent weekly, because salaries are paid per week. That was that was an that was a little bit adjustment that I was really in shock, because back home I worked for an organization, a humanitarian organization, and also I worked for the United Nations for 13 years, and I worked for another humanitarian organization for 2 years, making it all 15 years of my work. I was paid per month. So we could wait until the end of the month and then we could pay salary. There were seasons where we were paid on 15th, we were paid twice, but it didn't last for long because people are complaining that, paying after 2 weeks, fortnight, it was not good. So we went back to paying per month, and everything in my country were paid per it was paid per month, everything. So when I had that rent here is paid per week and it was not something small, I started asking myself a lot of questions. How are these immigrants staying here? What are they going through? What are those things what are those questions that they're not telling us? Because we had some friends and what who are living abroad, but they never told us. Some of them don't tell the reality of life, because you see their smiles, you see they are happy, looking happy. You never know what they are going through in the hidden. the bills that keep coming, and not only rent, there is electricity that is really, really so annoying sometimes. The bills can, you don't know how it is consuming, because back home there's a system where you know how much your electricity is consuming, and you sometimes you know, okay, I'm going to spend this, I'm going to spend this. But here you just don't know. You see uh, a letter in the mail with the bill. That is something that is it was a shock for me. But yes, I understood it is a new life. I have to adjust in. And thank God that time I was working. My husband also got a job immediately. And yeah, we were, struggling. We were all working, but we have uh, we have bills to pay, that we are children at school. Thank God here, in the primary, it's not really paying so much as back home. But yes, there is a fee to pay, and also there are some requirements, more especially when the child is starting up the school. There's so many requirements that are needed, more especially at the beginning of the year. There's really a lot of requirements, but in the second, third term is really it's not so much as in the beginning. But it was something that really, it was a struggle for me to understand. And back home, people, oh, you have already made it. You're abroad, you're in US, you're in Australia, you have made it, everything is good. They never know the sleepless nights. They never know the nights where you're counting the days each day, and when is the next bill coming, when moving things from this account to another, thinking it could fit. You see, this struggle, not many migrants talk about it. You just see the happiness, you see the joy. I now understood why so many people have really challenges when living abroad because of this. Because life back home, yes, there were difficulties, there were challenges of different aspects, like the security, so many other things. But here there are also challenges that are differently, that sometimes when not handled with wisdom and with the clarity, it may lead to something else that is not desirable. That's why I now see now. That's why so many people have mental health issues abroad, because of these bills coming in and out. So you must pay. Back home, if I had my house back home in rent, and if the tenant say that, okay, I don't have the money this month, oh, I can even give up to 6 months not paying. Okay, now when you pay me, when you get the money. But here it's not the same. It is not the same. You must pay, and you must pay. You have to get where to get the money. And that's why so many of our immigrant parents, they work 2 3 jobs so that you can be able to fit in, so that you can be able to pay all the bills. Now your life is all about paying bills. The life is all about paying bills. When you finish, there was one day I went to my daughter's school, and one of the parents was talking that, he said that, oh my God, these bills, you finish paying. You say, oh my God, I have finished paying. Just in the next 2 days, a mail in the box with another bill. You see, and it never ends. It never ends. Now I ask myself this question: is life all about paying bills, working and paying bills? What about the moments with your loved ones? What about that moment, most especially those parents who have children? And more especially if you have younger children. I tried this, where if you're working long hours, and you don't have you have to take your children for daycare. Oh my God, that was another experience. It was my first time taking my kids for daycare, because back home I was working, but we have people in the house, and we also do have house help, someone who is there just taking care, like a nanny, taking care of the house, taking care of the small baby if it's there, and you pay something small, and it was manageable. But here you have to take this child for daycare, and I had 2 of them that are supposed to be taken for daycare. We tried just, I think, 2 times. I was off. I did not. I said, God, I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. I even tried to use my lunch hour and use part of my lunch hour to go and pick the kids. It's that time we were still starting up. We did not have transport. We have to wait for the bus. The bus sometimes is not reliable. Oh my God, I felt like flying. There was one day I felt like flying from my place of work to my house to where the daycare was, because it was in my children's school. They have these after school hours, before school and after school hours. That is where, and the amount paid was really high. So I said, no, this I can't do this. Like, it's very hard for me managing all those things. It was hard. My husband was trying, I was trying too, but it was hard. It is still hard. But now as you go slowly, that time we did not have transport. Going for shopping even was very hard, buying things. Sometimes friends come and help us, take us for shopping and bring us home with their cars. But there are moments that you feel like, oh my God, am I going to be a burden to this person? And then you just walk by yourself, carrying the things. I carry things on my head in the African way, put it on my head and come home. I was not caring whether there are people who are taking pictures of me, video of me, or what. I did not care. What I cared most was my children has to have something on the table for them. So, after going through all those battles, the bills, the daycare, the time with the family, which is not there, and then sometimes you hear a call, maybe you receive a call back home, someone is critically sick in an emergency situation, and you don't have the money to send. Oh my God, this is one of the, it leaves me on guilt. I could have done better. I could have done this. I could have done this, but I couldn't, because there's this need that is still in my hand that I have not finished paying. And I know that so many migrants, so many people who come from another country in a new country face maybe similar challenges, because I have been talking with some few of them, and their challenges and mine are quite similar. So putting things together, after some time we bought a car, so at least that burden of carrying things on the head was lifted. At least we have a car. And my challenge was my driving license was not accepted. It was not that it was not accepted, but there was that another family name that was there, and it was not in my visa. So I have to start again from zero. So that took a very long time for me to get my, not really very, very long, but a very long time for me to get my license. But thank God that time my husband had a driving license, and his driving license was accepted within short time. He took several tests, he passed it, and then we have a car. At least we have a driver. My husband can drive, and then I can drive when he's in the car, because I was having the learner. So things change a little bit, like that burden, like moving, walking, going to the mall and buy things. We are a family of 6. We are a big family, and I have 4 children, and they are already in a growing age where they need enough food to keep them healthy and to keep them, their mind well. So me, I prioritize food for the children. My parent told me that it is better to eat food than to take medicine as food. So I prioritize that. That is one of the things that I never joke with food for my children. No, I don't play with that. But that time, the challenge was carrying the food from the mall to the house. So at the first place, first house that we were in, they were we couldn't carry with the trailer home. So it was the biggest struggle for me as a mom, because when I have to go and buy things for the school, it was so hard for me to carry the milk, the juice, the fruits. These are all heavy things, but I had to carry anyway, as I had no option. So and here also we don't have border borders like back home. We have border borders. We have there are Ubers here, but they are also expensive. So you calculate, like, should I buy some food, for maybe some fruits or something, or I take Uber. So something like that, because what if the money is limited? That's the point. The money is limited. So you prioritize what matters most. Some of the things you will just bear like that. So slowly but slowly, thank God I got my license. My husband got his license, and we're able at least to juggle things here and there. But the biggest struggle that is every day, and it seems like it's not going away, is the bills. The bills. The bills are coming every single week. At least there is another one of another sort is coming. So this is my question. Like, what are what are all these migrants going through that they're not talking about? Is it that they are not talking because they are happy? Are they happy, or they just are hiding away something? You see, and the most painful moment is when you get a call back home, someone is sick, maybe there is emergency of life threatening sickness that you're not able to help yet. People see that you are abroad, you have made it. It is some of the things that is really, really painful, but you have no choice but to live your life. One thing that I have really learned is just to live for the now, to live for the now, and to care for what you can care for. The rest, leave it to God. But that guilt still there. That guilt, where more especially when it's someone that is very close to you, and you know that you'd have done something, you would have helped, you would have changed something, or because of you could have done something important, but you could not do it because of the situation that you were in. And not just because I am new. I have talked with some people who have stayed here for like who have stayed in different countries, others in US, in Canada, some of them in Australia here, and in Europe. I have chatted with them, and the situation seems to be like the same. And even those ones that have stayed for more than 10 years, the bill seems to be coming every single week, and it's not changing. And now I was calculating myself, like, now, because some of them work two, three jobs, night shift, and it is good, but is it just that is all? Is there another way where I can be able to raise extra income while be present for my family, more especially for my children? Is there another way where I can be able to, create the lifestyle that I truly desire? Maybe I want to travel, maybe I need to help my family home. Can I be able to create that? That's why many people are looking for flexible ways of additional income, because money is not enough. However much you work two, three jobs, sometimes it's not enough because you have to pay all the bills. Taxes are very high. Cost of living is high. But the most important thing that I really love is that if you truly desire the change you truly desire, God will always find a way for you. God will always find a way for you. I am running an online business where I see not only migrants but immigrants, but most of them are immigrants. And I understood why most of them are immigrants, because of this challenge. Life is totally different. Most especially, you don't have your own house. You have to pay rent, and sometimes if you have not you're not paying rent, you're paying the mortgage, which is also high, and all that you have to pay per week or fortnight or monthly, however much that however you decided, but you are paying something. At least every single week something is going out, and working hard is not solving the equation, because I have seen also people who worked two, three jobs but still struggle. And the worst part is when their health is even deteriorating. That is a threatening factor. And I was just saying to myself, 1 year and 10 months in this country, it has been amazing. But the bills, is there another way that I can pay these bills without sacrificing my time with my loved ones? Is there a way that I can pay these bills while I am present for my children, for my family? If there is a way, I am going for that, because you know what? All these bills will never stop. Because I've seen people who have been here for 30 years, they are still paying bills. They are paying every single week, they're paying. What about the time with the loved ones that I have missed? Will I be able to gain that back? No. It will not be easy to gain that time back. And that's why busy working parents or professionals are looking for flexible opportunities where they can be able to run a business of their own with a proven system while being present for their family, for their loved ones. I started this online business just like maybe God showed me that Sunday you'll be moving abroad. So I need you to prepare yourself, get this online business so you can be able to set up yourself. It has not been easy yet, and it's not yet easy at this moment, but I am working on something that I am not worried anymore about the future. I am not worried about working two, three jobs, because I have another stream of income that I can be able to do it at my free time. After dropping the kids to school, I can come home and do it. And even when I was still working, I could do it before work. I could wake up early and be able to do at least dedicate 1 hour or 30 minutes for my business. Because if I can commit myself to someone else's dream, why not me committing myself to my own dream that could give me the flexibility, the lifestyle that I want? Yes, I understand that it's not something that is it's fixed in 1 week. It is a journey, but it's a beautiful journey that when started, you're not going back. You're going higher and higher and higher. So I started this online business because I wanted more time with my loved ones, because I know that they're growing up and things are changing. Their perspective will change. There will be a moment when they are grown up and they will not have time for me because they will be busy doing their own things. So I want to maximize the time that I have with them as much as I can when they are still young, to be able to create those memories that I can cherish when I'll be sitting in my chair old, and I'll remember the days that I lived with them. You see, challenge of lack of enough time with the family and enough income is is most challenge that is facing most migrants, immigrants, refugees, not even refugees, even residents, all are facing the same struggle. But what if there is a way for you that you can be able to do whatever that you're doing, all your family schedules, your commitments, and be able to build a business that is for you, build for you, but you're not by yourself doing it, because you'll have the support, you'll have the training, you'll have everything. A business that will give you your time back. Imagine just sitting at the beach with your children and everything is paid off. How will that feel? Because in my business, there are people who are already living that lifestyle, and that is what I really desire. That I don't need to sleep being awake the whole night worrying about how I'm going to pay this bill or that bill. I wanted to be able to pay all the bills and sleep like a baby, not to worry about anything. And that lifestyle, I can build it one step at a time, leading to that future dream that I truly desire. And I know so many migrants, parents who are here facing this challenge. I know that even though you keep quiet, silently you're accusing yourself. Did I really come to live this life? Asking yourself these questions. Yes, you can meet all the bills sometimes. You can meet the bills because you're working two, three jobs, or maybe you're working long hours, overtime. You're doing that. But what about the time? Did you think about the time you're missing out with your children? I was in another meeting today with in our business, and one parent who just started the business, he said that he has been working, committed to work outside of his family, and he could come home After every 6 months, he could come for 2, 3 weeks and then he go back. And one day he was standing there. He was standing, and his son asked the mom, "Where is my dad?" Oh my God, I felt him. If your own son asking for his dad in your presence as a dad, something is missing or something is not right, because the child was growing up with just the mom. The dad was always looking for money to pay the bills, and all the bills were being paid on time, prompt time. But the moment the son asked him, "Who is the dad?" asked the mom, that was a turning point in his life. And the worst part, even that happened, he was still thinking like, what can he do? What can he do? He lost his job. And that was a big eye opener for him. He wished he started this business earlier. He I could feel him, because I know not only him, so many parents go through that. And for him, he was working in another state. But there are some parents, you are in the same house with your own children, but you don't have the time to speak to them. You don't have that story time with the children because you have to pay all the bills in time. But what if there is a way for you to pay the bills while having the time with your children? You see, that is something that option is there. What if there is this option where I cannot be present? I will pay all the bills. And there is this option where you can also pay all the bills and be present. Which one would you choose? Which one could you choose if it was you? For me, I would choose the one that I want to be present and at the same time pay the bills. Yes, because I am shooting two birds with one stone, paying the bills and being present parent. And I know so many parents go through that. You get one. Either you get the time with the children and you miss to pay the bills to get the money, or you have the money and you miss the time with the children. And that is annoying and it's frustrating. It is making most parents move with the guilt. I was moving with that guilt for a very long time. When my daughter asked me that, "Mom, how much can I pay you so I can be able to stay with you, to play with me?" That was the most shock of my life. And that made me to realize that I have to do something else. I have to do something different. I started this online business not because I was happy, because I wanted to change something. I wanted to have that time with my children, and not only the time, I wanted to rewrite my story. I wanted to rewrite. I know so many of us grew up in a very difficult background, and that is not what we want to wish for our children. And that will only be determined by our decisions that we make today. What decisions are you making today? Are you making those decisions where it's taking you away of your family, and your children are growing with an absent parent? Even though you're in the same house, sometimes you can be absent, and that is really upsetting. And I'm here to share with you this amazing life changing opportunity that changed my life, changed the lives of so many. I am still not there where I want, where I desire. I wanted to be there, and I'm growing this. I am growing. Things are changing here and there. Every day I am learning. Every day things are changing, and I am loving it. I am seeing great inspirations in this online space. And that's why I pour myself into it wholeheartedly, because this is my dream. This is building the lifestyle I truly desire as an immigrant, as a parent, as as someone who wanted to rewrite her story. I am so grateful that I started this online business. And if you're out there and what I've shared really relates to you, message me so I can be able to share with you this amazing life changing opportunity that is changing everyday people's lives. And you don't need to be an expert to start this. You can start with skills or without skills, because the system is built in a way that it fits anyone. It's beginner friendly. So if that's you, message me so I can be able to share with you this amazing opportunity and see you from the inside. Let me know if you have any question drop it on the comment section and I'll be able to get back to you. God bless you. Have a beautiful time. Bye.